I was given a bunch of equipment last week just to take away, and guy said, you want it? You got to take it all. So I ended up with stuff that I didn't really want, and one of them was a TV because the screen is kind of scratched up a bit on this and it's dead. So we're going to take a quick look at this Toshiba TV and do some troubleshooting and see whether this one can be repaired or not. Let's check this one out. I was given this ginormous TV. This is like a 50, I think it's a 50-inch Toshiba. 2013, so it's 9 years old. It's totally dead. I said it didn't cost me a penny. This was given to me. I'm going to pull it apart and see whether it's something minor. And if it is, we'll get it running. If it's not, it's on its way to recycling. As fast as you can say the word recycling. Everyone probably thinks I just love working on televisions, right? Wrong. I despise working on televisions. In fact, it was flat panel TVs that was one of the deciding factors when I left the business. I did not want to have to work on this crap. And I have fixed only a few, mostly plasmas, for myself and for the odd friend. Although I get people that ask me almost every day, can you fix my TV? And the answer is always the same. I wish I could, but I don't have room for it. That's always my excuse. I don't have room for it. Because, well, I really don't want to fix these things. There's not a lot to them. There's not a lot that can go wrong. Usually it's backlights or a problem either in the power supply or a problem on the main board. Say this one was given to me, so I'm going to take a quick peek at it. If it's something really minor, might get it running so I can give it away. Otherwise, as I say, I'm not going to spend much time on this. So let's check the power supply first. Do we have our B+, our unregulated B+, 166 volts? Yes, we do. So we need to look and see if we've got a standby voltage, because without standby, of course, the set's not going to start up. Now, I can tell you right now that we do have standby, because when I put my finger on this chip, I can feel heat. Therefore, we know that there is power getting to this board over here. We can measure and see whether it's attempting to turn on the set. And look at some of the voltages coming back here. See if I can find a switched voltage. So we can check some of the voltages coming off the main power supply. This one should be a 12 volt supply for the audio, which it's there. And this next one should be a 7.2 volt supply. Do we have that? I gotta get my probe in there. Some of these will be switched, of course, right? So nothing there. What do we got on this one? 0. Five volts. 0, 0, 0, and 0. Which one of these is the control? Okay, 16 is PWM. That's for the backlight power. Looks like backlight on and off is number 13. And what do we got here? There's 11 leads on here. Oh, okay. So there's 13. One is 12 volts. Okay, that's correct. That's there. 2 is 12 volts. 3 is this 12 volts control. 4 and 5 is ground. 6 is audio. 7 is audio. 8 is ground. 11 should be AC detect. There's more pins listed on here than there are wires. Some of the pins may not go through, but they look like they do go through on the bottom here. So let's just measure them from the bottom. I'm looking for the power control so that when I toggle the switch, see if it'll turn on and off. So What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like there's 15 of them down here, but not all of them go through. So the one I'm looking for is power control 12. So 15, 14, 13, 12. This should be the power control right there. 3.3 volts. Let's just see what happens when I hit the power button over here, which is this one over here. Okay, there we go. So I just tried to toggle the set. The voltage just went to 0. Now it's back on to 3.3. So the set should be on or off, one of the two. But that did toggle, and the set did not turn on. You may be looking at a bad backlight. Let's see if we get any voltage for the backlights. This will be a high voltage if it's on or off. Okay, it's not that one. It's probably one of these two ones in the middle here. Okay, 80 volts. So the backlight's trying to come on, but I didn't see any light. It's more than likely the backlight's shot, because I definitely saw the 80 volt line come on. If we watch again, okay, 78 volts. Yeah, we've got a backlight failure on this set. I'm pretty sure that's what the problem is the backlights have gone bad. The set's shutting down. If I measure right across the actual lamps themselves, I was measuring the ground, so I won't get an accurate read, but if I put the meter between the positive and the negative terminal for each of the strings, we'll get a more accurate read of the voltage to each of the lamps. Okay, so if I hit the power button now, what do we get? I don't see any backlights attempting to light. I think I'm going to write this one off. These sets just aren't worth fixing. Yes, you could go and change the backlights. You could open the panel up and find the actual LED that's failed. I've done that before just for demonstration purposes. I've done it a few times on smaller sets. But the fact that these TVs are so cheap now, I wouldn't spend any money to fix it. I wouldn't order in LEDs and change them all out, and this being an LG panel, life's garbage, low grade, whatever you want to call it. They have a tendency for their LEDs to turn blue. So you pretty much got to change them all out, because the screens turn blue anyway. I don't know what this one was like before it died. It might have already been blue before it failed. But LG have been terrible as far as the reliability. You'd have to change all of the LEDs out to make sure that the color temperature is balanced, and that's just not economical. You know, now someone's gonna probably pipe up in the comments saying you can get these on AliExpress for $60 or $50 or whatever. It's not worth spending $50 on. That's the thing, plus shipping, of course. It's not worth spending that kind of money on, because I can go down to Walmart and I can buy a 50-inch TV for about $179 brand new with a warranty. So that's where we're at with televisions, and that's the main reason that I got out when I did, was because I could see what was going on with televisions, and there wasn't going to be any market in the repair, and I was right, there isn't. So this one I think is going to go off to recycling, primarily because I don't need it, I don't want it. The screen itself is scratched, it's kind of banged up, it looks terrible. It was just given to me, so I figured I would take a quick look at it and see whether it's something minor. It's not a bulge cap in the power supply that's gone bad. That's minor. It's LED lights more than likely, and when it comes to the LED backlights, they're not worth fixing. I've got one here that I changed an LED on, or I shorted one out, that was given to me as well. That one still works, but it's got one dark spot from a bad LED. Anyway, I'm going to close this one off here because you don't need to hear me rambling about why I don't want to fix TVs. Thanks for watching.